Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of me talking about 7 things, I am going to be going over episode 1 of Global Showdown. Now, before I continue, please check out the links in the description below. I highly recommend the surveys, especially the redemption survey. Now back to the video. We see all teams being inserted into the competition, and there are 7 teams from the Americas and Australia competing for $200,000. From Australia, we have Kai and Alexa with a combined total of 211 challenge days. From Brazil, we have Marina and Renee with a combined total of 102 days. From Mexico, we have Fernanda and Pablo with a combined total of 63 days. From Texas, we have Jeff and Kerra with a combined total of 328 days. From USA East, we have Matt and Gabby who have a combined total of 415 days. From USA Pacific, we have Dan and Rachel who have a combined total of 234 days. And from USA South, we have Frank and Teal who have a combined total of 126 days. Will that factor into who makes it to top 3? I don't know. Now we are in Zululand for the next 40 days. There will be 3 zones, and the first zone is a humid savanna. The teams get their bags and their team flag and head to their first challenge. The group size up their competition and told there will be a scoreboard for this competition. Points will be earned through survival tasks and head-to-head challenges. They can unlock assets at certain checkpoints, and the more points you get, the less likely you will be up for elimination. There is also no sharing, stealing, or sabotaging other teams. The first challenge is a 24-hour survival challenge that will be in 2 phases. The first is grabbing a kukri and some rope and cutting down some survival items from high up in a tree. And then the second phase, after they get a scroll that will lead them to their camp, is to make primitive fire, boil water, and make a boma, not necessarily in that order. And based off doing those tasks, they will get 50 points for their shelter build, 50 points for water purification, and 100 for primitive fire. No teams will be eliminated today. And they can unlock items such as a fire starter, a choice of bow and arrows, or a fishing kit, and then a folding saw. The teams begin. They all begin working on getting their kukris on a stick and sawing the rope holding up their survival items. Team Pacific and Team South want to build a ladder so they don't waste the rope. And Matt and Gabby are the first to get their survival items and head to their camp. The bundle has 2 hides, a pot to boil water, cotton for fire, and a small knife. They begin work on phase 2 of the challenge. They all have until high noon to make the shelter, purify water, and make fire. Team Brazil get their survival items and head to their campsite, followed by Team Australia. They then begin phase 2. Texas and Mexico get their bundles, leaving USA Pacific and USA South. They all decide to forego the ladders and just decide to cut the ropes with the kukri tied to a stick. USA South are 6, and USA Pacific is in last place to move on to phase 2. Australia is first to complete their boma, followed by USA East and Brazil. Pablo is working on cutting branches and accidentally cuts his leg. A medic is called for him, and his wound is cleaned, and he needs stitches. Fernanda works on the boma by herself in the meantime. USA East, Brazil, and Australia work on gathering materials for primitive fire while the other teams finish their bomas. Kai is working on a bow drill kit for primitive fire and tries it out. She notes that the dust is the wrong color and needs to adjust the kit because the dust that she's getting is too light, and for the primitive fire kit to work, the dust needs to be darker. USA East also works on primitive fire, and Matt and Gabby work together on their bow drill to try and get fire. Matt also notes that the wood is incorrect for his bow drill kit, and the 2 discuss maybe getting some fig tree wood, but they have to wait until the next day because night is falling and there's a lot of animals out and about. Day 2, Australia and USA East look for materials for their primitive fire to remake their bow drill kits. They're looking for fig trees. USA South, Mexico, and Texas work on their bow drills as well. Gabby spots some ideal wood, and she and Matt take it back to their camp. Kai pivots and uses the acacia wood. USA Pacific works on gathering materials to use the cotton roll fire method. USA South are working on their bow drills, and it's generating a lot of smoke but no ember. USA East begins working on their new bow drill kit. They get an ember and are the first to get primitive fire, earning them 100 points, and now have a combined total of 150 points total. They then work on purifying water. Matt builds a tripod, and they purify their water and has 200 points overall. Team Brazil get an ember, but unfortunately it goes out. USA Pacific pivots to a slack drill. They get a coal and transfer it to the burn nest, but unfortunately it goes out. USA East checks out Texas's setup, and Matt basically tells them pivoting is best. USA South move into the sun to help improve their chances of getting fire. There is also a lot of discussion about USA Pacific's partnership, and it seems Dan is taking the lead a lot, and Rachel is worried about not being able to keep up. Australia manages to get a coal, and they are the second team to get a fire, and they have a combined total of 150 points. Then they purify their water and have the max 200 points for this challenge. With a minute to spare, USA South manages to get primitive fire, which boosts their total score to 150. The other four teams run out of time to get their fires and are just stuck at 50 points as the first challenge ends. The teams go to look at the scoreboard. All teams get a fire starter since they got 50 points. USA East and Australia are tied for first with 200 points, while USA South is in third with 150 points, and the rest are tied for fourth with 50 points. They are told that teams below the red line on the scoreboard are in danger of elimination. They are given an optional challenge to build a bridge to help them get to hunting grounds across the river. It can get them 100 points. At every 100-point milestone, survivalists unlock different survival assets. At 100 points, they are given the option of a bow and arrows or a fishing kit, and at 200 points, they are given a folding saw. USA South gets 2 bows and several arrows. Team Australia and USA East also get bows and arrows, and those two teams also get folding saws. USA East goes scouting for good hunting ground, and Kai goes hunting as well. Rachel is disheartened by the situation and being in the bottom of the leaderboard. Dan is worried about a lack of a way to get food, and Dan discusses his partnership some more, and the episode ends. Dun dun dun. Good episode overall. Looking back, not a lot happens necessarily, but going from team to team to team, it kind of filled up the time. And it's a little bit worrisome with Dan and Rachel because there's little bits of talking head interviews where they're talking about the partnership, and I feel like, unfortunately, this partnership might implode at some point, but we shall see. And we have some Matt and Jeff rivalry going on, but it's more fun and positive and not as hectic as it was in season 1. So, some good, healthy competition is good. And we shall see where Dan and Rachel's partnership goes and where Matt and Jeff's rivalry will go. And so I just wanted to say everyone's total amount of days survived on a challenge. Since they're on day 2, I'm just going to add 2 to everyone's total days. So Matt currently is at 307 days, which is tied for first for most amount of days with Stephen Lee Hall Jr. Jeff has 288 total days. Dan has 201. Kai has 157. Gabby has 112. Frank has 72. Alexa and Teal have 58. Marina and Renee have 53. Fernanda and Kerra have 44. Rachel has 37. And Pablo has 23. I'm excited to see where these dynamics will lead us and who will decide to do the optional bridge building challenge. And I also wanted to say that there will be a total of 10 episodes during this season. And I thought that they were going to do an elimination every other episode, but I don't think that's the case because I saw a synopsis for episode 2 and it didn't really say that there was an elimination. And next episode is Fire and Pain. An injury during an intense gauntlet competition puts a legend at risk. International survivalists must bring unique skills to torch, bridge, and deadfall trap builds. Competitors scramble to stay safe as rhinos circle their camps at night. Dun dun dun. We'll see what happens. Thank you all so much for listening. Please like, comment nice things, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.